This challenge is part structural engineering, part competitive eating. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this.
What happens when you and your minions attempt to build a colossal rice cake tower? Exactly what you'd expect.
I knew that was going to happen. This is either going to be the best birthday cake I've ever eaten or the worst, but regardless of how it goes, you will be entertained. Hey True Crew, we're back here for another in-home challenge at the Fortress of Solifood. It is my 36th birthday, so to celebrate that, I wanted to do something a little bit different, build the biggest birthday cake I've ever had. And we're not talking just making a traditional birthday cake, we're gonna build one. We're gonna see how tall we can make it, and then I'm gonna try to eat the whole thing. So to build this giant tower of a birthday cake, I'm gonna need help from my two favorite eldest minions. All right, are you both ready to start construction?
Yes!
To do that, we're gonna need some safety gear. We're geared up and ready to go, but we're gonna need some building materials. First thing we need, rice cakes.
Rice cakes.
All right, I've got caramel corn, apple cinnamon, chocolate, and cardboard flavors. Traditional. We're gonna also need toppings to make sure all these rice cake layers can stack together into the biggest, tallest, strongest tower. All the toppings. And we've got whipped cream, strawberries, bananas, applesauce, peanut butter, maple syrup, chocolate sauce, frosting, and sprinkles. All right, construction team, are you ready to build this giant tower of birthday cake? This challenge is part structural engineering, part competitive eating. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this.
Henry's agreed to help me make the first package worth.
Now, many people consider rice cakes to be one of the most repulsive things they've ever eaten, and there are definitely some that do taste like cardboard. Some of the more flavorful ones are pretty decent, but I definitely have to load them up with toppings to make them anywhere close to enjoyable. All 9 toppings we used are shown back up on the screen, and polling the family, I definitely preferred strawberry, with banana being a surprise second favorite. Henry definitely liked the peanut butter and the whipped cream. Amelia was all about the whipped cream, although if I would have given the option, she probably would have chosen ranch dressing. And Kirsten went with the chocolate. In hindsight, I'm kicking myself because there were a few that would have been way better to use. I totally forgot Nutella and honey, and even Greek yogurt would have been a really good one, especially combining it with a few other different flavors. So out of the 9 toppings we used, which one's your personal favorite? And if you could choose, were there any that you would have added to this list?
Once you can say Dad or Daddy.
Or Charlie?
I don't want her to call me Charlie.
What? But you always want us to call you Charlie.
I prefer you call me Dad, but Charlie's usually what most adults call me.
Daddy.
Adults call me a lot of different names.
Daddy.
To give you some context, Sophie has just started saying Dada, and Amelia's wondering why she doesn't call me Charlie. If you thought these toppings were entertaining, you'll really enjoy the videos I've linked at the end of this one. I did several food challenges that were hot dog centric where I got to choose my toppings, and after dozens of hot dogs, I had sampled everything from cream cheese to peanut butter to corn chips and everything in between. So if you like some serious food mayhem, check those videos out at the end of this one.
We have 80 rice cakes here. I think 4 of them are for the kids, but I'm gonna take the other 76. At least try to.
Daddy.
All right, now we're gonna start building. Amelia, can you help me start stacking?
Got it. What if they fall down and then?
It's gonna be a big mess. It's okay. We've got 3 kids. I know what big messes are about.
Oh, look at that big mess we already made.
But just as they'd finished building the towers, disaster struck, and 4-letter words were uttered.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Where'd it go?
Now, I know some of you may be thinking, there's no way he's gonna eat rice cakes that fell on the floor. Well, I did just spend 45 minutes decorating these, and I just cleaned the floor earlier this morning. I also like keeping my immune system on its toes.
Ooh, fool me once. All right, 76 rice cakes. First tower may have dropped over, but that's what happens when you have a chemical engineer doing civil work. All right, 76. I have no idea how many I'm going to be able to get down with all these toppings. A giant glass of milk is going to help. This is either going to be the best birthday cake I've ever eaten or the worst, but regardless of how it goes, you will be entertained. All right, we are going to start the feasting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Go, Daddy, go.
Oh, they are so dry. This is going to be legal.
When I was originally designing how this challenge would play out, I kept thinking to myself, how hard could this be? Rice cakes weigh practically nothing. I can easily crush probably close to 100 of them. Well, if you are interested in the stats, 76 rice cakes weighs only about 2.2 pounds, but they have a volume of 2.7 gallons. So we're gonna play the game, how big is Charlie's stomach?
I'm not going to use much talking. My jaw is trash.
Now, one of the things I do to passively train for food challenges is chewing gum on a daily basis. But that was not sufficient for what was ahead of me with all these rice cakes. Jaw fatigue's a fairly common occupational hazard with competitive eating, but another one of them I encountered in this upcoming challenge video. When you create a food challenge based on a Philly cheesesteak merging with a giant breakfast platter, there's only one name epic enough to call it: the Shermanator. Out of all the food challenges I've ever done, this might be one of the tastiest. It was smoking hot. So come with me if you want to live with first-degree burns on the roof of your mouth. I'll happily pay for excellent food, but the price for this one was almost too high. Stay tuned for next week's episode, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you're the first to know Friday afternoon when the video drops.
This looked way easier in my head.
It had been a while since I'd done a food challenge where I had to eat for more than 30 minutes, and at that point my brain knows what my stomach and my taste buds just did, and it's not happy. All I can say is I'm grateful for that strawberry jam. Without it, I would have ended the challenge much sooner. Especially considering that some of the toppings had made the rice cake start to get soggy.
40 minutes in. Not looking good. We'll see if we can get to 50. I'll be happy with that.
It was about this time that I really wished that instead of eating a bunch of rice cakes, I'd have eaten the ice cream cake that I usually ask my family to get for me. However, in lieu of the rice cakes not being nearly as flavorful as an ice cream cake, I really wanted to make it interactive, get the kids involved, and have a lot of fun building something monstrous. And it was chaotic and messy, and ultimately way more fun than a store-bought cake.
Other than the texture and the flavor, these are really good.
I grew up eating delicious homemade birthday cakes that are more traditional with that awesome buttercream frosting and nice fluffy cake. In adulthood, however, I've definitely eaten more than my fair share of ice cream cake. I know a lot of people don't do traditional birthday cakes, at least as much as they used to. I know some people prefer fruit pies or massive cookie cakes. So if you're one of those people, you even prefer something like donuts or giant stacks of pancakes for your birthday, let me know in the comments what your go-to birthday treat is.
Let's get to 50. This is number 50. Got about a minute left for an hour.
Playing Monday morning quarterback, I probably had the stomach capacity for a couple more, but the flavor was getting so repulsive that I really didn't want to see what 50 rice cakes looked like in reverse. Circling back to our rice cake statistics from earlier in the video, only eating 50 rice cakes equates to about 1.4 pounds, but about 1.8 gallons. So my stomach can hold probably a little bit more than 2 gallons when you factor in the rice cakes, toppings, and the pint of milk.
All right, 60 minutes and a little bit of change. This has been one of the best, worst ideas I've ever had. If you have any better ideas for in-home challenges, please let me know. I don't want to see another cake for another year. I had a lot of fun building it with the kids. Until next time.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gabby. Happy birthday to you.
Are you hungry?
Is it good?
It's an ice cream cake. I didn't think you were going to get me one. Now you want to take a selfie with your phone? Let's get a selfie with this rice cake. Come on,
All right,
get in.
go, go, go.
Come on, Emily, it's not starting yet.
Yeah, stop it. The video hasn't started yet.
Silly one.
Say rice cakes.
Let's try it. Daddy, this is mine.
Stay hungry.